Hi YouTube, Josh here normally with the channel ZZZ Giant Awake, but it's Saturday on the Breakfast Club. I'm sorry I'm recording on a slightly different device than I normally use. I might have lost my camera forever, so we'll see. If that's the case, I might be stuck on this thing for a minute with very limited ability to edit. So I'm continuing on the conversation that we started yesterday on essentially what I consider non-human persons. And that has been a recent development in both our legal and philosophical conversations. And it's a huge topic, like what makes a person a person? And is there such a thing as a non-human person? And what obligations do we have to non-person or non-human persons? Personhood is a deep question, like what makes me a human being, what makes me special, what makes me me. There's a lot of things that seem to be individual. We tend to attribute physical traits to other humans as being important, though I'm not so sure that's the case. So I think that it's fairly easy to define what a human is if we use genetics. And I think it's fairly easy to define species once we start using genetics. Um, but while there are a couple other ways to think about it. One is maybe a human is or a person is a checklist of things that uh, a being must have in order to be a person, such as intelligence or the ability to learn or other things. I'm probably going to leave this video with more questions than answers. For me, I think that if we do a checklist, that what we'll find about personhood is that we aren't the only people on this planet, human beings that is. What we tend to attribute to what makes us special is the ability to think. I think it was self-awareness that uh, Bionic Dance mentioned yesterday, and and a few other things, communication, uh, explanation, things like that. Now, when I say we're not the only persons on this planet, dolphins have self-awareness, like 100%, no question about it. And then there's the question of what is sufficient self-awareness to be self-aware. Dogs tend to understand that they take action, so are dogs persons. Cats and other animals have awareness of their surroundings and their own interactions with it. A few other things, like if we look at intelligence, while we're human beings are far above and beyond any other animal on this planet, there are what I would consider sufficient intelligences on this planet to deserve rights. Dolphins, elephants, and then if we want to extend it to even the lower animals, we're talking cats, dogs, pigs. All should have any of the other great apes, gorillas, orangutans, and chimpanzees and bonobos. All of those creatures are intelligent enough that they deserve some form of acknowledgement of personhood, even if it's not to the same level that we give personhood to human beings. Emotional ties, I think, are where we start having ethical obligations to other living creatures. I think that once an animal is aware enough of its surroundings to understand that it does not want to be separated from its child, at that point, we know that we're doing harm psychologically and physically to a creature by separating it from its child. Unfortunately, that would make most meats off limit. And I am not a strong enough person to live by that rule. I eat meat. But I think that's something that we might, 1,000 years from now, look back at ourselves today, like human beings in the future, and they'll look back and be like, what the hell were they thinking? That was a dark moment in time that we used factory farming, where we essentially tortured animals before killing them and then eating them. I think that might be a thing that happens in the future, where they stop eating meat and consider us barbaric. Let me think if there's anything else I want to touch on this subject. Ability to learn is something else that Bionic Dan's touched on, and a lot of things have the ability to learn. Like we're talking monkeys, which are a lot of species are less smart than dogs. Uh, there are also another like the amount of creatures because lab mice know how to learn. Lab rats get better at doing mazes, so they improve by using their intellect. That makes it even more like, what are we doing? But if it betters humanity, it's hard to say that we should stop doing tests on lab rats. I think that's everything I've got today. Peach, you're up tomorrow. Hopefully, I pray to not God. I just really hope I haven't lost my camera. But until next time, guys, take care.